Shabbat Shalom. We begin our worship on page 128 with Ma Yafeh Hayom. How lovely today is. Shabbat Shalom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with Romemu in the middle of page 135. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Please join me now in Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride on pages 138 and 139. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi
And we now continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide.
Continue now on page 144. Yitkadal veyitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon ufyomechon ufchayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kariv.
Veimeru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam ul'olmei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach ve'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam ve'yitnaseh, ve'yitadar ve'yitale ve'yitalal, Shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'imeru, Amen.
We continue with Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 146. Please rise if you are able. Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvitfuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 150.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratcha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam, le'olam va'ed. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem neged yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, le'olamim. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta.
So invite us to take a deep breath in and exhale out. Take another deep breath in as we breathe in that sense of Shabbat. And exhale out, Mishagas. Another deep breath in as we breathe in that sense of shalom, of wholeness and completeness. And exhale out all that negative energy within us.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Together on page 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
We continue on page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We continue on page 158 with Mi Chamocha. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru.
השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue now with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah. Please rise if you are able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Page 173. We join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 175 on the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha bi'irah na'avod. Page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lacher na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav. Ki ata u'melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata u'melech Adon, melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav.
I invite us now to take a deep breath in and exhale out as we now reflect on that makor shalom, that source of peace that lies within each one of us, as we pause now in silent reflection.
Nikion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri vekoali
We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Sally Emerendez, Chana bat Miriam, Eliana bat Chana, Robert Berg, Yoshua ben Italiba, Mort Berlant, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sarah Beinstock, Sandy Beinstock, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Bob Kant, Nicole Chapman, Hadley Crane, Lori Evensky, Jason Fishoff, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Fiedman, Holly Fugit, Betty Garcia, Mary Gold, Jennifer Guerrera, Rosie Gurman, Courtney Hansen, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Lee Henderson, Barbara Jackowitz, Mimi Jones, Kevin Krieger, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Liatzvia Batliba Ve'elchanan, Janice Lucero, Young Sung Lot, Carol Lerner, Shirley Lerner, Gary Levine, Penny Levine, Litia Leos, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Eva Misley, Brad Parkins, Linda Rogers, Ben Rubin, Marilyn Rudy, Dolores Sams Hoy, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Donna Shine, Sybil Summer, Roberta Stivelman, Donna Thyman, Famtai Trang, Gina Thrower, Teresa Walsh, Claire Cecil Watson, Rosanna Wershing, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, and everyone who is suffering from coronavirus. We continue now with the word of Torah. This week's Torah portion is Vayikra, the beginning of the book of Leviticus. And that is, of course, our third book of our Torah. Having established the covenant in Genesis and having outlined the details of the construction of the Mishkan, the portable tabernacle, and Exodus, the Torah now turns our attention to the ways in which the tabernacle is to be used for the ongoing communication between God and humanity. Sacrifices are introduced in Leviticus as a specific language for communication between humanity and God. Several types of offerings are explained in detail in this Torah portion. Also, the introduction of the holiness code and what it means to be kadosh, holy, is also introduced in this portion. The goal of korbanot, sacrifices, was to offer a concrete way to relate to an unseen and unknowable being. And thankfully, we have evolved as a people to the point that prayer is viewed as a more civilized mode of connecting to the divine than animal sacrifice. But I think if we look through our modern lenses, we won't understand the importance of the sacrificial system of our Israelite ancestors. As Professor Devorah Weisberg of Hebrew Union College reminds us, the very elements that disturb us and may have disturbed some ancients make sacrifice so visceral and captivating. When an individual was overcome with guilt or shame, they were able to experience a deeply restorative sense of relief from placing their hands on animal, seeing its blood on the altar, and knowing that this ritual expiated their sin. Just as we derive satisfaction from giving a gift to someone who has helped us, a person who felt profound gratitude to God derives satisfaction from giving God something tangible, unquote. What does it mean to connect to God? Well, the opening chapters of Leviticus ask us to consider what it means to derive, to connect with the divine, and how we imbue our religious experience with power and meaning. What imbues us with power and meaning? Now that we've experienced a year away from that which was normal, what have we learned? What silver lining lessons can we teach to another? What were surprising gifts during this pandemic? In the end, what brings us meaning is one of the most important questions. This pandemic has given each of us an opportunity to think about this a lot. For some, gardening has brought much to their lives. Others are painting, working out, cooking and baking. Some are studying, taking classes, and finding ways to get into nature. This is the time for us to think about what brings us meaning. Because at some point, we will be done with this horrific pandemic, and we will have an opportunity to carry forward in our lives those habits, those actions that have brought us meaning during this pandemic that we don't want to lose. Life has taught us you never know what is going to happen, but if we have anchors, things that bring us meaning, and know that our community is truly there for us, which the year has taught us that we are blessed people because we have such a great community and so many wonderful people in our lives. So ultimately, may we feel gratitude and connection, love and compassion as we take the time to think about that which brings us true meaning. Shabbat Shalom.
Water to water, Father to Son, Mother to daughter, rivers will run, sisters and brothers, see the reflection. Water to water, pain my beginning, peace be my end, blessing drops in the fountain, finding my courage, climbing this mountain. Water to water, rush to the sea, holding this promise, feeling so free, season to season, here for the asking, water to water, pain my beginning, peace be my end. Peace be my end. Peace be my end.
We continue with Elena on page 586. Please rise if you're able.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'otzer breshit, shehu notei shamayim ve'oser haaretz, u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo begofei meromim, u'Eloheinu einod, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
We now come to the moment in our service when we think about members of our community who have died recently or in years past. On this Shabbat, we're mindful of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning for Manny Migdal, beloved father of David Migdal. We also think of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Selma Karcham, Bill Davenport, as well as those that are grieving the Shana, the first year mourning for Gary Aknan, Tony Berliner, Idel Kagan, Dory Cohen, Rabbi Sissy Koren, Rebecca Lynn Decker, Binny Schumann Donald, Vladimir Doktorovich, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Helen Marchik Goldman, Bernice Green, Bob Hirsch, Rita Kane, Janet Katz, Father Bill Leninger, Marian Suni Levin, Michal Lubin, David Dudi Messinger, David Reiser, Cami Resnick, Edith Robinson, Rabbi Kenneth Roseman, Laura Marie Rosen, Steve Rosenthal, Lois Rosette, Boris Supak, Ruth Silen, Francis Singer, B. Chandler Shaw, Greg Stiller, Joel Strauss, Gunther Vogler, Carol Wachtenheim, Henry Wild Sr. We also think of the following yahrzeits that we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Florence Ames, Shirley Applebaum, Elsie E. Atlas, Dorothy Bennett, Olga S. Berman, Samuel Jack Brown, Abby Cohn, Sarah Enton, Morton Feynman, Faye Genzel, Edith Green, Marilyn Hecht, Robert Hirsch, Albert Hofheimer, Julius Jackal, Arthur Jones, Rose Kahn, Paul Kaplan, Judith Ann Karcham, Erwin Isidore Katz, former president of our congregation, Ruth Crandell, Manuel Lauber, Harold Llewell, Ruth Lewis, Martin Lotman, Irving John Lurie, Lee Mandel, Aaron Miller, Rose Mintz, Josephine Neymark, Jeanette H. Penkovic, Malka Roll, Leo Roslin, Marion J. Rosenthal, Gussie Rubin, Habib Sahim, Hetty Shore, Leonard Siegel, Dr. Carlos Singagalia, Rebecca Sherman, Alan Shine, Elliot Sklar, Hova Stateman, William Schulman, Marcia Silver, Albert Simon, Eugene Snyder, Rose Spector, Nathan Winter, Zichronam Livracha. May all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we now continue with Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabba, ve'alma divrach yirutei ve'amlich malachutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol be'Yisrael, b'agalav uzman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitfomam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha b'rechu. Le'alami ko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'elma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba meshemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Osi v'simrat Yah, vayehi li lishua. Osi v'simrat Yah, vayehi li lishua.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Lana Smith, and on behalf of Temple Emanu-El's Board of Trustees, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our streaming Erev Shabbat service. Mazel Tov to the Ball family, who will be celebrating Justin's bar mitzvah tomorrow morning at 10:30 over Zoom. Please register if you'd like to join the Simcha. We have a full lineup this week. On Sunday at 10 a.m., Shirley Lee will be giving her final installment about the Jews of Lithuania. This series has been fascinating. Then at 11 a.m., Mookie from Virtual Israel Tours will be speaking about Israeli politics, including the upcoming Israeli elections. On Monday at 7 p.m., join Rabbi Postrel for the fourth of his 5-part series on Reform Judaism's Sacred Path. On Tuesday, chat with the rabbi at noon. And on Wednesday, March 24, Join Rabbi's Lunch and Learn at noon. Also, on Wednesday evening at 7 is the next Grown and Flown parent meeting. On Thursday at noon, the movie discussion will be about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which can be found on Netflix. It is a powerful movie with amazing acting. Thursday evening, Sisterhood is holding a Schmooze and Best Childhood Memories event at 7 p.m. Next Friday, March 26th, our 6:30 Kabbalat Shabbat service will be live on Zoom. Please note, starting Wednesday evening through Sunday, March 28th, look for your Seder gift bag delivery unless you've ordered second Seder dinners. In that case, you'll be picking up your bags at Temple Emanu-El when you pick up your meals. If you want to order dinners but absolutely cannot pick them up or cannot afford them, do call or email us. Due to some generous donors, we can do a limited number of dinner purchases and deliveries on March 28th. But you must let us know no later than Monday, March 22nd. Wishing you a happy spring cleaning and Shabbat Shalom.